Market research. The first thing you want to do before you start your coffee shop business is to do market research. Now, what's market research and what value does this bring to you as an entrepreneur? Simply put, market research is a process of gathering information about consumers' needs and preferences. If done correctly, market research can help you find customers for your business. Now, the goal of market research is to reduce the chances of your business failing and increase your chances of success. This is the most important step, as this will determine whether or not you will succeed in growing your coffee shop. Now, when it comes to market research, there are so many aspects you can go about doing this. However, each type of business will conduct market research in a manner that is most effective for their business. Now, this is one of the challenges that many coffee shop entrepreneurs face when they try to start their coffee shop business. The advice and information you'd find on Google search is usually very universal and doesn't apply to your business. There's never a one-size-fits-all. Each business will have its own unique way to get customers to come to their store. Now, to grow your coffee shop, we're just going to focus on what's going to be more impactful and that yields the best return for your time and effort. Now, in general, when you start a business, there are 6 important questions you need to answer in order to get a good sense of your market, such as, is there a desire for your product or service? This will be called demand. How many people would be interested in your offering? This will be called market size. What is the income range and employment rate? This will be called economic indicators. Where do your customers live and where can your business reach? This will be called location. How many similar options are already available to consumers? This will be called market saturation. And what do potential customers pay for these alternatives? This will be called pricing. Now, out of these 6 questions, we're going to eliminate 3 of them off the bat. We don't really need to know if there's a demand for coffee, so this is out of the picture. Now, market size, that's only important when it comes to writing a business plan so that you can get an investor to understand how big your market size is, so that he or she will have that information and be able to make an informed decision whether or not to invest in your business. We'll learn more about that later in this course. So for the purpose of growing your coffee shop, this is not too important at the moment. So we can cross this out as well. Now for economic indicator, this can be beneficial in order to understand whether your business can thrive in richer regions or poorer regions. So we can cross this out as well. This is more of a common sense case where you know that you usually want to put your coffee shop in places where you can charge $5 for a coffee without any problem. So obviously, if you're going to put your coffee shop in areas where people can't afford to spend $5 for a cup of coffee, your business will most likely struggle. So we already know that your coffee shop needs to be in the place where people have the luxury of spending more. So the aim of eliminating these 3 questions is to allow us to focus on the other 3 questions that will have more impact on growing your coffee shop. We definitely need to know where your customers live and how they can be reached by your coffee shop. We definitely need to know if there are other coffee shops available to consumers in the area. And we definitely need to know how much we can charge for coffee and other essentials compared to your competitors. Location. So let's dive deep and take a look at where your customers reside and how we can reach them. Now, out of the 3 questions we selected, this one is actually the most important. Now, here's the thing about location. You may have experienced a situation where a business that you go to happens to be the only one that provides what you need, and there are no other alternatives. And because of that, you still decide to go there anyways. Now, this is the kind of situation you want to be in, where your potential customers have no other choice and you are the only option available. Now, as unfortunate as this may sound, it will also give you the opportunity to learn and develop as an entrepreneur. Now, the good thing about being in this kind of situation is that you're going to still be profitable as you learn through trial and error at hand as you go, while your potential customers have no other close coffee shops to go to. Now, as a business owner, we want to make sure that you're always up and running and that you can afford to make mistakes if mistakes happen to appear as you're growing your business. So the most important thing is to ensure that you are either the only coffee shop on that block or at least one of the very few. So let's talk about the process of how to find your customers and make your business easily accessible to them. Now, there is no question about it. To be successful, you need to put your coffee shop in the right place. However, there are three parameters to consider. You're going to want your coffee shop to be 1. Centrally located and easy to access. 2. Highly visible and experiences consistent foot traffic. And 3. A space that fits your vision. Now, understanding these three parameters, we can then move on to the next step, which is finding the right location to start your coffee shop. Now, how are we going to find a location to place your coffee shop business? What you need to do is either buy or rent a commercial property. Now, what is a commercial property? Commercial property is essentially real estate that is used for business activities. Now, this is different from residential property, which is essentially for living and residing. Commercial properties are buildings that house businesses, which are designed to generate profits. So you'll see this in shopping malls, for example, where there are multiple businesses, or even a plaza where you'll see a food store here, clothing store there, or maybe a pet shop over there. Now, commercial property is essentially what you're going to need to set up your coffee shop. The cost of buying a commercial property is very high, so we're more than likely to rent one out instead. More about finding a commercial property will be discussed later in this course. Now, we need to figure out which location would be best suited for your coffee shop. Before you open a coffee shop, we must first understand why they're so popular. We can conclude that coffee shops are a great place to socialize. They're also a favorite spot for people looking to spend time reading a book or a magazine, or browsing the web while enjoying a drink and a snack. Coffee shops are also a great attraction for casual business meetings or for students to catch up on schoolwork. So bearing this in mind, we can already brainstorm some of the appropriate locations where we can place your coffee shop. Places such as near colleges or universities, libraries, downtown, or places where there's a lot of business activities. So we'd like to look around those areas and look for vacant commercial properties that are close to those locations. If none is available, you would still want to continue searching until you find one. It is important to find a location to house your coffee shop business.